Hello, this is Horror Chatter, and today we're going to have a review of Monster, the Ed Gein story. Okay, so this is Leatherface, Buffalo Bill, Norman Bates, these iconic Hollywood killers, all traced back to one terrifying real life murderer, Ed Gein. Ed Gein. I'm gonna say Ed Gein. I feel more comfortable that way. Well, I want to say it's an 8-part episode, so I want to say miniseries about the life of Ed Gein. It's horrifying. It is really freaking horrifying from the time it opens up to the time it stops. This is a no holds barred, and I'm sorry if you are one of those who sat between episode 1 and episode 8 and did not take a break, like at least a 24-hour break. There's something very dementedly special about you, because I had to take a break. I literally had to take a break. That's how gruesome and gory and graphic it really was. And you know, the actors and the actresses and everything were actually good actresses. They were just terrible people in this miniseries. Like, you did not want the best. Here's the thing. There was nothing on my bingo card that said I wanted to see Roseanne Barr's sisters' private parts on screen. Okay, and yeah, her sister on the show, Roseanne, plays the mother. Okay, in this show, and she is creepy as it gets. When I say creepy, I mean it's borderline over the top. She's creepy. There's something really, really, really wrong with her. There's no sorrow for Ed Gaines. Whatever happened to him, you know what? That's the thing. I'm on episode 7. So I'm going to finish the whole thing today and see what happens. But so far, it's just a horrible idea to come up with about making a mini series about a guy who did all this gruesome things in real time. Like, he really, really did that. And it's centered around Vietnam, 1940. Okay, so that's the time frame that we're working with here. Okay, to see, what all was going on and everything. What I really, really hated about this show is the fact that they kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to Alfred Hitchcock, to other pieces. You didn't know what was real. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know whether to go, okay, maybe this is real, or maybe this is a fever dream of his. So that was kind of messed up, okay? But other than that, yeah, this is not a good idea. This is just not a good idea. It's nothing that we need. It was horrible. It's really excruciating to sit through the whole thing and not take a break. Okay, so it is, in my opinion, that graphic, okay? And I'm not going to tell you some of those graphic scenes of this, but there are times in this show, so far, I'm on episode 7, okay? So far, and I got one more to go. But so far, yeah, I'm telling you, this is top of the line trash. It really is. Like I said, my bingo card was not Roseanne's sister, and I don't know what her name is. I think is it Lori Metcalf? Maybe it is Lori Metcalf. Yeah, that was not on what I saw of her, was not on my bingo card. And some of these graphic scenes in this show come up as a fever dream. Okay, so you don't know what's real, you don't know what's not real, and that really, really sucks. But honestly, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, that's what I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. 7 on the aspect that this is a horrifying tale. Okay, but due to the graphic nature of it, it's graphic. I think, and when I say graphic, I mean there's just some stuff that, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to put on video to show people. You shouldn't have to creep me out this bad in order for me to go, this is pretty bad. Like, this is pretty rough. Let me take a break, you know? I shouldn't have to take a break from this, but this is really graphic and it's really gross. So yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. So until the next time, this is Horror Chatter, and I thank you so much for listening to this review. But yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. So I would look this over. So until the next time, this is Horror Chatter, and I thank you so much for listening.